But I mean, I just really, really believe that news, like you get in a newspaper, is going to be around, and I believe we'll keep doing it for a long time.
From arts coverage in the past, in the Dayton community, who really have some deep insights into it, we'll be doing that for you in about a week.
So there's that we are, you know, it's an evolution, right? And so we have to keep paying attention to what people are saying and making changes. But I would also say that there is no question in my mind that right now, and we actually did this, we actually brought in the various arts and entertainment, the heads of arts and entertainment people. I was there, I sat down and talked to them. Our company gives millions of dollars to the local arts and entertainment operations every year, and we showed that hundreds of arts and entertainment organizations in the Miami Valley receive money from our company every year. This arts and entertainment community could not exist without the support that our company provides. In addition to that, the coverage that we have is, I mean, it would have city papers stacked on top of each other. I mean,
what do you think about the forum here with the editors tonight? Any questions that you got answered that you didn't know, or?
I thought it was a good dialogue. I actually work on the staff of the Daily News, and we came out tonight to raise awareness of media bias. We are concerned that the newspaper does not devote the resources necessary to cover itself as it does to cover other events in the community like layoffs and such. And we feel that it's important that the newspaper not put its business interests ahead of making sure that it's thorough with its coverage of all institutions, including itself. So we wanted to raise awareness of that by coming out tonight and distributing leaflets.
Did you get any response from Editor Rollins or anyone else in attendance?
Well, it's a little early to say whether or not we'll get any response or not. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the newsroom.
Yeah, they were talking about hiring more freelancers. But does that seem to be? It doesn't seem to be a real stable model. I've tried to manage freelancers of different sorts and kinds, and it's kind of like herding cats in a way.
Our group of reporters and photographers and copy editors and web designers are at the bargaining table right now with the Dayton Daily News, trying to reach a contract. And one of our most serious concerns is the newspaper's desire to have the power to replace professional journalists with freelance writers. There are a lot of excellent freelance writers, and in no way I mean to impugn the quality of the work. However, the quality of freelance work can be inconsistent depending on who you get, and we just feel like there's no substitute for professional journalists. And we
devoting
like
one's life to something.
Right, and we feel like the Dayton community deserves professional journalists, and that's why one of the reasons we wanted to come out tonight.
Okay. How were you guys received?
I think folks hopefully were interested in the information that we had to distribute.
Okay.
Again, we're a vital community institution. We appreciate the fact that people came out tonight to get plugged in. It's up to them to speak out and make sure that the Dayton Daily News continues to be a quality source of information. And we really appreciate the community's willingness to get engaged.
Contractors, I learned everything I knew about business by my own paper ad. Cash-based. You had to earn them, okay? And I hired a couple guys on collection desk.
Customer service,
tips is where you make the money.
We're not going to necessarily disagree with you on this. As I said, when my son got going, he made a convincing case. I will say this, that if that were true then, you got to remember it probably wouldn't be true now in terms of like still trying to counteract it. The big change in the world for us has not been how we deliver the paper to your doorstep. It's been this funny little thing called the internet.
Sales.
And sales is important, and I get that, but you got to remember, no matter how we sold the paper and got the paper to your doorstep 30 years ago, 30 years ago, newspapers were the only game in town, and what's changed is that now we're one of many games in town. And we wrestle with that daily. That's a big, big, big part of what we do. And it's the way that we deliver news online, the way we deliver it into phones, the way we deliver it in print, the way we deliver it other ways, magazines or whatever. It's gotten increasingly complicated, and it used to be really simple.
It's actually gotten simpler, Ron.
No, it
Really,
isn't.
it has gotten simpler because now you can actually deliver what advertisers really want, which is proven eyeballs, proven clicks, proven results, and yet the Dayton Daily News, as it's delivered digitally now, isn't providing the one-on-one relationship the way it could or should. And until you understand that, as a newspaper, as Cox Media, you're missing the point. And until you understand that community, that relationship, that one-to-one is what you're working towards, not this one, we put it out there for the many. I mean, you could deliver a customized newspaper to Mark and a customized newspaper to me very easily. But for that, you have to have people opt in and create a profile and, you know, actually prove that they're reading the paper, and then that's how you sell the advertising. But you guys haven't figured that out yet.
You are famously on the record, Dave, as believing that we don't know how to run our digital business.
Changes, there's all those things. So the technology can be important, but you also have to look at what's your differentiator. And in my opinion is your differentiator is content and depth of content.
That is so
what
right.
traditionally you found in newspapers versus other mediums is that you could read a story and you're going to get a lot more in-depth content.
Absolutely.
And what has happened over time though is that content has shrunk quite a bit. But I'll give you an example. Last year when the Dragons had their sellout, the New York Times ran a great article, very deep, very depth content about the success of the Dayton Dragons, the issues that Dayton, Ohio had, and those are the type of things that newspaper readers are gravitating towards because you're not going to see an article about that in Channel 7 because you can't do that in 30 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever their time is. You're not going to hear about it on radio. It's going to be hard to read about that in a blog. And so it's this content of depth that I think is the differentiator that you still have to continue, especially local content that you really have to strengthen as your differentiation. Some of the other medium stuff will work its way out. You got to be very attentive to it, but it's this depth and content. That's most important.